Hi guys, welcome back. In this lesson we're going to be looking at the minor 2-5-1 progression. So if you're not already comfortable with the major 2-5-1 progression, I really advise you go and check that out first. And the reason for this is because the minor 2-5-1 is much more complex than the major 2-5-1, and it's just the most logical order to learn them. Okay, so let's construct a minor 2-5-1 in the key of C minor. Now, the process to achieving this is almost identical to how we would construct a major 2-5-1, except instead of using the major scale to build the chords, we use the harmonic minor scale. So here is our C harmonic minor scale. And if we build a seventh chord from each note of that scale, this is what we get. So to construct a minor 2-5-1, all we need to do is take the second chord, the fifth chord, and the first chord. You don't massively need to worry about what all the other chords are for now. So if we take chord 2, this gives us a D minor 7 flat 5. Then if we take chord 5, we have a G dominant 7. And then chord 1 gives us C minor major 7. So let's go over each one of those chords in a bit more detail. So the chord 2 in the minor 2-5-1 progression is always a minor 7 flat 5, and this is also known as a half diminished. So here is a D minor 7 flat 5 chord. For our 5 chord, we have a dominant 7. In a minor 2-5-1, this chord actually has some altered extensions. More specifically, the flat 9 is very, very common. And the reason for this is because the ninth of G, which is the note A, happens to be an A flat in the scale of our C harmonic minor. And that's the scale we're using to construct all these chords. Therefore, this dominant 7 is very commonly referred to as a dominant 7 flat 9. So moving on to our 1 chord. Now, you actually have 3 options with the 1 chord. You can either just play a normal minor 7 chord. Now, the B flat in this chord isn't in the diatonic harmony, so it's not in the scale of C harmonic minor. But you can play this chord and it works very well. So the second option is the minor major 7. And this just means we have a minor triad with the major 7th on the top. And this is actually the scale we get from the harmonic minor. And the other option is to play a minor 6th chord. Again, the note A isn't in the diatonic harmony, but you can still use it. So you have 3 options. You have the minor 7, the minor major 7, and the minor 6th. Okay, so now let's put it all together. So going back to our first chord, D minor 7 flat 5, a very commonly played voicing is like this. If we move over to our left hand now, and this voicing is actually just the same as what I was playing before in its first inversion. And the reason this voicing is so great is because all we have to do to move on to our 5 chord is to drop this note, the 7th, down a half step. And this then gives us our G7 flat 9. We have the 7th, the flat 9, the 3rd, and the 5th. And then to get to our final chord from here, you have different options depending on what chord you want to play. But if we were just going for the standard minor 7, we could play this. This actually gives us a rootless minor 9 voicing, but it's a very common way of playing it. So that is one way of playing the minor 2-5-1 progression. Another common way to play it is to start by playing the first chord in its 3rd inversion. If we do this, to get to our 5 chord, all we need to do is move that same note, the 7th, down by a half step. So we have this. And then we can play our 1 chord like this. So there we have 2 very common ways of playing a minor 2-5-1 progression. I really advise practicing this in a few different keys to help ingrain it. And also understanding it in different keys will really help you out when you start learning jazz standards, because 2-5-1s are literally the building blocks of jazz. So that's it for this lesson. I really hope you guys found it useful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.